Okay, so you're in a hot real estate market. You'd think selling a house would be easy, right? But when every single property is getting a dozen offers, the real challenge isn't just selling, it's standing out. So today, let's talk about how you can turn a simple online listing into a must-see event that grabs all the attention and, of course, the top dollar.
And really, that's the million-dollar question, isn't it? In a crazy busy market, say like Southeastern Massachusetts, homes can absolutely fly off the shelves. But with so much competition out there, just being available, well, that's not going to cut it. You have to find a way to cut through all that noise. I want you to think of your online listing like a first date. Seriously, you get one shot, one single chance to make an impression. It has to be captivating. It needs to build a little trust, like a firm handshake. And ultimately, it has to make that buyer feel a real personal connection to the home. It all starts with that very first digital hello.
And that first impression, it almost always starts with a single click. Long before a buyer ever reads your beautiful description or even thinks about scheduling a showing, they are scrolling through photos. This is your digital handshake, and you absolutely cannot afford for it to be a weak one.
And the scale of this is it's staggering. Think about this for a second. Over 90% of homebuyers start their entire search online. That means for pretty much every single potential buyer, the battle for their attention is won or lost on a screen before they even get in their car.
So what this really means is that your listing isn't just a gallery of pictures. It's the digital front door to the property. It is the one place where potential buyers are either drawn in and want to know more, or they just scroll right on by. Dull, amateur photos aren't just unappealing. They're basically a closed door.
But the return on getting this right is huge. Listings with professional photography see up to 139% more clicks. That is more than double the engagement. And that creates this awesome funnel effect. More interest leads to more showings, and more showings, well, that leads to more competitive offers.
This quote right here from Luke Corcoran just drives it all home. It's not a luxury, it's a necessity. This is an investment that pays for itself in faster sales and higher prices. It's truly the difference between being noticed and being completely invisible in a sea of listings.
But here's the thing. Great photos are just the foundation. They're the starting line. To truly captivate a buyer, you've got to bring the property to life in a way that those static images just can't do on their own.
And here's the critical difference. A good listing shows the facts, the dimensions of a room, the basic layout, but a great listing tells a story. It helps a buyer imagine themselves making coffee in that kitchen or kicking back in the living room. It forges that all-important emotional connection.
And this is how you build that story. Immersive tools like video walkthroughs and 3D tours, they give buyers a true sense of being there. They're not just looking at a flat picture anymore. They are virtually walking through the kitchen, feeling the flow of the space, and experiencing the home's vibe right from their own couch. And the benefits are so tangible. These tools stir up those crucial emotional connections we talked about. They also tend to attract more serious, qualified buyers. Because let's face it, anyone who spends time on a virtual tour is already pretty darn interested. This level of transparency builds trust and gives your listing a really innovative professional edge. So, beyond that emotional appeal, great listings also have to deliver on logic and clarity. The next layer here is all about providing practical info that gives buyers the confidence they need.
I mean, think about it. A simple floor plan answers so many practical questions before a buyer even thinks to ask them. How does the kitchen flow into the living room? Hey, will our sofa actually fit there? Giving them a clear layout removes all that uncertainty. It's a simple but incredibly powerful way to build trust.
So when you put all these pieces together, what you get is a complete strategic toolkit. It all starts with those stunning foundational photos. Then you add context with some aerial or drone shots. You create that connection with immersive 3D tours, and you build confidence with practical floor plans. Each piece has a very specific job to do.
Okay, so let's zoom out for a minute, because this isn't just about having great marketing stuff. This is about having a great business strategy that actually drives real, bottom-line results. This quote, which actually comes from a comment on the source material, is just perfect. It completely reframes the whole conversation. This isn't fluff. It isn't just an expense. It's a strategic investment in the sale. It's all about making it easier for buyers to say yes. And the return on that investment? It is crystal clear, right across the board. You sell your properties faster and often for a higher price. You attract buyers who are way more qualified and ready to make a move. And critically, you build your own reputation as a top-tier agent who presents properties with the professionalism they deserve.
So I'll leave you with this one question to think about for your own properties. Are you just putting information out there, or are you creating an experience? Because in today's market, the difference between a first impression and a lasting one is everything.